Sterring, pictures and buttons, is Sterring, they're like Sterring.
Hey, I'm Kunta.
And I'm Peta.
Welcome to Black Sterring Radio, a podcast where we dissect TV shows, films, music, and culture
To ask how black women are represented and seen on screen.
Yay!
This
We're
can be
here.
part of the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to one of our installments. I don't want to number them because you know of the technicals. But yeah, of the Black Sterring Masterclass interview. And I'm so excited about our guest today. I'm like a huge super fan, and she talks right now about success and as if she's not like super fucking successful.
Yes.
But it is Helen Herimbi-Moremi.
That's right.
That's right. You know, because you gotta. Helen Herimbi is a veteran music journalist, author, and podcaster, interviewist. Having interviewed the likes of Angelique Kidjo, David Attenborough.
Yes.
Come on.
No way.
So fun. So fun. Like, okay, so hi everybody. I was invited to a screening for a channel that I'm now forgetting, and they're probably going to be upset with me. But it was in the UK. And he was the narrator for that
Because
series.
he is narrator extraordinaire.
Yes.
His voice.
And then like we went to the screening and Prince Harry came and it was like, okay, I guess
Brushing
this is
shoulders
my life.
with actual royalty, like actual royalty.
Even me, I'm royalty.
I mean,
so
yes.
I know that's right.
We all are, but the ones that are actually like, that's huge success. That's huge success.
I don't think so. I think that stuff is important for the people reading it. So it's important for somebody who runs the BBC to be like, oh, she can interview. But my favorite things aren't the David Attenboroughs.
Yeah.
Those things are nice, but like you were about to say to Zubs.
Zubs,
Speaking to
last
Zubs is important
letter.
to
Those
me.
are my favorite parts, and do me from the volume, because I will always call him do
So
me.
you're not gonna
That's
do
so
Stogie
rude.
Cat.
Why?
Do you know what this is like? This is like the whole Snoop Lion rebrand, and everyone said
The P Diddy,
Never.
and I get,
No.
and I actually
But-
don't get the Stogie T rebrand. I don't. I have not evolved into that rebrand. I am still, I'm still.
She's like,
quite-
"Get to me.
Yeah,
Get to me on the
I
phone."
am,
Can I give you a different perspective? I'm not saying change your mind. I'm not saying
happy
change your
to
mind.
change my mind.
But I do think that we have to respect what people want to be called.
Absolutely,
Right?
It's
So, and especially for what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
With naming himself that. So in the same way that when Yasin says he is Yasin,
Yes,
Yeah.
we all
we
go,
must.
oh yeah, no, Yasin. Like, he's there.
That's also so
Yes.
difficult because most deaf.
that's tricky for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I do that.
I think the only people that still call
okay,
him
shame.
most
Most deaf.
is like Dave Chappelle. Like when they're doing their
The
podcast.
old guard.
Yeah, because they've known him
almost like an
forever,
old
right?
guard,
So
yeah.
that would be tricky. And I'm sure Stogie's
It's old
friends
fans,
call him
yeah.
Doomy.
Yeah.
But I'm saying as like people who are listeners, as people who love music,
Yeah,
if someone
true,
says,
true.
Did you guys see Mary J. Blige? I think she's on tour right now and she's performing. She's not even doing that.
I know she canceled the.
Is she not? Is she rebranding?
No, they were doing I'm Going Down and she's literally holding the mic like this. And she's like done. You can just see on the, So if people had stopped being like, we want you to keep singing the songs that are sad. We want you to keep being that person who's in our pain.
Yeah,
So who would she be now?
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah,
wow, that is
because-
such a chat.
and-
Because
no, and
the
that's a
evolution is so important to creativity, to artists, and we
don't
keep
let
them
them.
right there.
We keep them there.
Because like, you know about like Doomy. You're like,
Because
I'm
we'll
not
say-
going to call him Stogie.
But listen. Okay.
I mean,
Do not
And that is a chat because
have me
Even
an enemy with Stogie T, because
Oh, man.
I just definitely think, and I mean I have listened to the evolution, and there is a difference, there is a growth. I definitely still think though that, you know, throwing away the old is just like, yeah, I can't, you know, especially as a product, you know, which is what you do become if you are an artist in the public eye. You know, you are a product. You know that you become you live in an era, and a part of you lives in that era, and it just feels like, do we just die? Does that era just die? Does Do Me and the Volume just die?
Why
and it
would
has.
it die?
It feels like it has, though. It definitely feels like
Really?
Do Me and the Volume era has, because he's not even referencing that anymore, and that was
But-
the Love of My Life era.
But it doesn't have to die to you because you have
That's the
Spotify.
thing.
You can like just listen to the albums.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, that whole Jay-Z thing where he's like, if you want the old Jay, buy the old album.
Yeah,
Like-
so true. You are so
Yeah,
right.
and
Or
it's
bump the
such
old
a-
album, not buy it.
And it's such a weird thing because we'll demand, as you said, like the artist's pain and their sadness, and we want Mary J. Blige to say, I'm not gonna cry, or I'm going down, whatever. Adele is also here like, I'm not trying to sing someone like you right now.
She's so happy.
I'm having a good
Like,
time right
and I
now.
think of
I'm not gonna sing
Amy
that.
Winehouse as well. She
Yeah.
just died. She just couldn't do it anymore.
No,
eh?
because it's like you become part of a machine almost. And as much as we want artists to explore, we also keep them in these
Yeah.
very
we
narrow
imprison
boxes.
them. We
Yeah.
imprison them.
And we're like, oh my God, Coldplay was so great when everything was sad. Now they're so happy. And I've also said that before. I'm
John
like,
Legend as well.
John
He's been
Legend.
accused of
Although, hey,
getting too happy.
my thesis is always that for some artists, being in love isn't necessarily good,
for
quote
their
unquote, for their craft.
creativity,
Like,
yeah.
sometimes they just write better songs when they're not with the love of their life.
Yeah.
I always use John Legend and Alicia Keys because I'm like, your music banged when you guys were gushing and in the streets.
Yeah.
But now you're like, I found my person. Music doesn't hit anymore. And that's also okay. Because I'll still play Get Lifted. Yeah, like it's fine. It's
And
fine.
don't you also feel like there's so much music?
Yes, that I
like-
don't have to
Yeah,
be.
like you don't have to
yeah.
listen to John Legend in 2025.
Nah, yes.
Like
Yeah.
you can
If it's
still
not
listen to
doing
Get
the
Lifted.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then now just like listen to Leon Thomas or
I love
someone
Leon
else.
Thomas.
Me too.
Leon
I
Thomas
hate you
is
for saying
amazing.
that. I love Leon Thomas.
So why do you
You're in my brain.
Shall
Love
we
him.
move?
I can't
Yes,
believe he was in Insecure. He looked so
He
whacked
was
in
shock-headed.
Insecure.
My friend used to call him shock-headed boy.
Because he was.
Because he was. Hey, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what an evolution.
The other day I was reading, I was looking for something on the net, and then I came across, you guys know Sibs Shongwe Lamer? He's a filmmaker. And then I was like, oh, I interviewed this guy. I loved his film. So in one of my past lives when I used to review films and I'd write the reviews, this film that he made is called Necktie Youth. It's the only film I've ever been in a review and like actually cried. I was just like,
Really?
oh
What's
my
it about?
gosh.
Is it like a...
It's this kid, well, it follows like these two friends, but the catalyst of why we're like watching them is one of their friends kills herself on camera. And then we go into the school and then we see
On
like, what's-
camera?
Yeah. So now it's like how these kids are affected by this. But it's like
That's heavy.
super affluent kids. They live in Sandton. It's these black kids. They like
And it's It's set in
Yes.
South Africa?
Yes.
Wow.
It was like such a phenomenal film for me.
Wow.
And also because I'm not a rich kid from Sandton, it was refreshing to see like, oh, Nababaya Goisha
This
Shim. And
is
it's like,
the other side.
yeah. But the point I was making is when I was thinking about that, I was like, oh, let me go see what I wrote. And then I'm reading the thing and I was like, Bonko, cause I was the star of this film like 5 years
Really?
ago. And now
He's
my
like
only
mega
reference of
star.
him is like The Wife
Yeah.
and you know all the
Yeah.
other films.
Tong,
but I was
he's
like,
on
oh my
right
goodness,
now.
I can't believe that was him. And I didn't even.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah,
No.
hey?
Yeah,
It's like
sometimes
Leon
you can
Thomas.
be on Victorious and shock-headed boy as Issa's love interest. And then
Yeah.
here you are. And
Being a
desk
mutt.
and being a mutt.
Do we want to then maybe segue into how
Oh,
you
sorry.
started,
Why
or
we-
should
Yes.
or should we do a content? Do we want to do a
Let's
content?
do-
Because I would love to know what you're
Yeah.
into right now. Actually,
You're sure.
Yeah, so we
Yes,
usually
yes.
open with content you signed up for.
Yes.
So anything you have been watching, reading,
Quoting,
listening to, quoting,
thinking about, whatever. Really.
Like when you told me that was something I must think about, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many things that I'm just like, what do I talk about? But because I'm a writer at heart, like I brought 2 things that I want to read for you.
Yay!
They're not my things, but and maybe I'll leave the short one for last. But like one of my favorite things, I don't know if I should call it content because the second piece is gonna kick me over the head, but it's a newsletter called It's a Recommendation. Lerato Mbangeni is the person who writes it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Is she got a newsletter now? That's dope.
Yeah, she's had it for a while. Yeah.
Has she? Wow.
Yeah, so when I used to work at the newspaper, she came on as like a baby writer, but she was writing like for the main newspaper. So they needed to write like, I don't know, somebody got shot and whatever, right? That's what they're supposed to do.
News.
We were supposed to be like, I'm sitting with this artist and whatever.
Soft news.
But because she's like really smart and brilliant and artistic and all of these things, she always used to creep into our lane and then come and interview artists. But we used to beef a lot because then she would put them on page 3 like the next day. And then we would be like, no, our piece is coming out next week. So like, what are you saying? But I think it was a good thing for her to leave the newspaper world and go write elsewhere because she's a really good writer. But she put out this newsletter, and this one is from January, where it's titled, I Recommend Self-Study. I'm going to try to read my favorite parts quickly. So she says, when I feel unsafe, I leave to make up for all the dangerous times I stayed. It is both right and wrong, but it's not being weighed. It's self-study. At the age of 33, I learned how to be angry, to feel it and communicate it before I remedy it. I could never bury my feelings in my face. They seep out and form lines around my mouth. A flash of red covers the whites of my eyes. They gloss over even if I'm smiling. So I've just started leaving the door open for anger to run till it tires. Then I rest and I laugh because life is so often a joke. To be fair, it doesn't run for very long. When I break up with a lover, it feels as though they've died. I sit on the matras on the floor and cry. I tell stories to myself about the love lost so I can put them away once and for all. I give snippets to friends, footnotes to family, and hardly anything to acquaintances. I emerge with skin glowing from the purge. I'm radiant, and suddenly the world knocks on my door, drops at my feet, and kisses my hand as if it's been in wait. Joy circles me like an old friend. I said,
that was.
So I really
Thank you for
enjoy
reading like that.
I really enjoy reading her
Because also
newsletter.
like it is such a
I'm like, that's a newsletter. That could be
I'm
the
on it,
opening of a
I'm
book.
subscribing. I'm on the Patreon 100%.
So it's called It's a Recommendation by Lerato
And I just
Mbangeni.
love Lerato, bra. Like she is an amazing writer.
Yeah,
So,
she's
and I
really
think
dope.
She's copywriting right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
An award-winning copywriter.
Yes,
So
come on
nice.
now.
Come on now. But also just speaking to how just ugoa. Actually, I remember the podcast, The Sisterhood of Ungo Girls or whatever.
Oh.
But like just how hard or just like I don't know what to call it, like mental health, hardships, life, growth is just so foregrounding itself in one's life right now. It is so unavoidable, and as an avoidant, like that's beautiful. That's such a beautiful piece. That's such a beautiful piece also about anger and the importance of anger, the importance of getting to a place where you express your anger, because it's
and that you don't stay in it, right? Like
exactly. That's
like
why
joy will come back.
Yeah,
but I think it's a joke.
It is, but I think so often what I think that piece got across so well is that we often try to run from the emotion instead of letting it sit. Because people will try to suppress even their anger, and then it gets bad.
Yeah. Or they just put it in music, right? Like so not even like the people making the music, but like us who are listening to it. Like if we're sad, we listen to sad songs.
And that's such a thing.
Listen to ragey songs and like you'll make it worse. But I've had to learn how to just sit in it and just let it be instead of trying to rush past to be like, I'm fine now. And it's like,
And definitely as a music
Not okay.
lover, music consumer, processing through music is also something that you know, without judging it, I think a lot of us or a lot of people process a lot. You know, you can then get to cry.
Yeah.
Not about what you're actually going through, but just to cry,
Yeah.
you know, because the song is sad and it is touching that part of you, you know, you can then just cry. But I also have such a tricky relationship with that, because a lot of music, a lot of my old music, my old favorite music just takes me back to a time when I'm like, you know, that breakup. And it's such an interesting, you know, it's so interesting to bring up the fact that, you know, a breakup happens and, you know, you have to get to work and life is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, that's a beautiful,
Yeah.
that's beautiful content.
life keeps going.
Life
You have
keeps
to keep going.
going.
You can be heartbroken, but you still have to do your job.
I hate that
It's
though, because
unfortunate.
I also hate
But-
that.
And it's very unfortunate because it's not
one
like you
should
can
be
just
able
take
to
a personal
just-
week.
Yeah.
You have to show up and still go to work and do your job.
I do
And if you
think
have
it's a
kids,
choice, though.
You have to
It
take care of your
definitely
kids.
is a choice, even though it is
one is the
even the fact that you show up for work that you have to. It is a choice, but it is, we are under pressure. We are under that pressure, but it's still a choice. It's still a choice.
I think the way you're coming at it is, and I think maybe some of us feel that way too,
Yeah.
but like it's from a place of privilege, right? That you're saying it's a choice, like I can empower myself to just not do it or whatever, right? But by and large, most people don't
Can't.
have
I get it.
like
I get it. We
ability,
are under that
yeah.
pressure.
yeah.
'Cause
And
you-
also then it means like either you're honest about like I'm taking a personal day and then you risk like, okay, now you're fired and unemployed in Cyril's economy. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
then
that's
you're
what it
lying.
is.
So now like you're out of your
'Cause now you're-
integrity.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're
Because-
inauthentic about it.
Yeah. There's very
Boom.
little, it
Ouch.
often feels like there is very little wiggle room in like taking personal days for mental health's sake.
But I
But I-
feel, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I think the thing that always boggles my mind is that human beings are making the rules. Like, we all live here together. So we could all just decide, yeah, this 5-day week thing, I mean, this
doesn't
5-work-day
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Also, like, why is money money? Like, all of those things that
Absolutely.
sound...
Everything
know?
is made
And
up.
that's-
Yes.
Everything is made up. 'Cause
So
there
let's
are
just
countries who
make
have
up another
decided
thing.
4-day weeks are cool. Or
Yeah.
companies who have decided we're going to pilot a 4-day work week for a month and we're going to see. And they were like, hey, everyone's actually more productive. So
Yeah.
we're going to keep the 4-day week.
And I know it's like very simplistic to say it the way that I'm saying it, but surely we are the human beings. We must make the decisions, right? Like,
yeah.
But that's
and
what
maybe
I
not in our
mean.
lifetime,
But then I
but
always
You
think
have a
about
choice.
I always think about who sits at the top
yeah,
and how open they are, how open they're not can change your entire work experience.
Yeah.
Because people, sometimes you'll find even just the nature of, like me and my friends were complaining that in some ways, sometimes it feels like there's almost like a single tax for not being a parent in workspaces where it's like, oh, somebody has to work late, but you know, everyone has to take care of the kids. You guys can do it. And you're like, I don't love
Who
this.
signed
I
me
get
up
why
for
it's
that?
important. I get why it's important to have the work-life balance, but should that only be for people who are parents?
Right?
Maybe not.
You know?
Yeah, but it's like, again, somebody makes the rules.
yeah.
So who,
And it's never
who
us.
it is that makes the rules.
That's
matters.
where I get stuck, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where I come from. And you just actually reflected that. It is a decision that we, and you know, we are complicit in the sense that we need the money. We don't need all of the money. We don't need all of it. We don't, right? Like there is a level of responsibility where you can choose yourself over the system that's not absolute. It seems like it's absolute, but it's not. Hey, it's not. And it's like the fact that there is someone at the top is just like at the top of my life. That these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. Like at the top of my life is my boss. You know, is that fair for me, for my inner child? Like, you know. But anyways, let's move into talking.
Wait, I've got my second.
Yes.
This one's super
absolutely.
short. And this one is Sihle Mthembu, phenomenal writer. He wrote Born to Kwaito, co-wrote that book.
Oh my
used
goodness,
to be,
is that him?
yes. I don't know if he would call himself a arts journalist. I think he would just say he's a writer. But now he writes films, he writes TV productions, like he's working on Shaka Ilembe at the moment.
Wow.
And I'm sure he's going to be like, yeah, you were screenshotting my Instagram stories a lot. Hey, what's happening? But it was for this, because he just wrote this little thing that I was like, ooh. He says, somewhere along the way, we stopped experiencing art and started consuming it. We gulp down music, film, books, not to feel, but to finish. My goodness, you are not some ghoul. I don't know if that's how to pronounce that word, but yeah. This is a very new thing. If you read old books, watch old interviews with artists, the word consume does not even come up. Now it's all you hear. But art was never meant to be consumed. It was meant to be experienced. Under capitalism, success is measured by output and not impact. The word consume belongs to capitalism and colonialism. I can't think of a Nguni word that is the equivalent of the word consume. Can you? And if you're going to commit to being an artist for a lifetime, you must scrape this language from your tongue. You must let go of consumption as your compass. Exist as a guard, not as a cup. People can write.
No, people are right.
And I feel like
I felt
that,
every fiber of that.
every
That was
fiber, because it
incredible.
is what we're talking about. It's consuming, and how does that change your relationship to art?
Yeah.
How does that affect and contaminate
Yeah.
your
Just
your,
this idea
your calling
also
to be
that,
an
like,
artist? Hey,
We don't feel, we just finish.
Yeah.
That
we do.
line
We
was
move through.
good. And I always think of music in how
are we
there's
listening?
such
Are
a
we listening?
rush. Because it's like we're not... And we spoke about this at some point, about like how it feels like there's a level of passive listening now where we used to be very active. And I think a lot of it for me has felt like the loss of the physical media in some ways, and like it's not as tactile. You don't hold it in your hands. You don't scratch the CD.
The behavior
You don't
has
read the
changed,
lyric
yeah.
book. You can just, go onto Genius and get the lyrics. And I'm like, yeah, but like it's not
the same.
as going to music and like sitting there and going. Yeah, I don't know. Like it does feel like we've lost something in the evolution of technology. Which is good in many ways, but in other ways, I'm just like, yeah, art is very quick.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
become commodified. Or has it always been commodified?
I think to a certain degree, it has always
because
become
advertising
commodified.
exists,
Yeah, but now it's just, it's almost like you blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Which is
so
so
much imagery, so much going on.
Yeah, because it feels overwhelmed. Yeah, I don't know if you. Yeah, I know I feel overwhelmed sometimes of like everything and like
can't take it
all
all
the
in.
looks. Did you see everything from the Met Gala, or like did you?
Oh my
watch all the-
gosh.
do you know? What I mean?
And that's
and
there's
it's
an
like
agenda.
so much stuff.
Now
And like,
we all
did you
need
see
to
the latest
know
thing?
that.
Did you whatever? And I'm like, oh, not yet.
I'm such a
getting
big
to it.
fan of like discourse on the internet, right? Like when people are talking about the Met Gala.
Same.
Yes, everybody must talk about the Met Gala. I'm not those people who are like, oh, not another Met Gala. But my, I guess, trip up is like, it's impossible for everything to have been great. It's impossible to have 8 favorites. Like 3, sure. But like if I open your stories and I see like, and it's just outfits, like I don't, like I'm, and I think that's my own inability to like take in every single thing.
editing.
But I also feel like for you personally, was everything good? Or if it's a bunch of stories that, bad outfits, was everything bad? Like just give me your taste, your like 5 things.
I do want to say to that point, and I love that you said that, because that reminds me of editorial in magazines where you start, where like all of us in this room kind of started editorial and media and like having to edit. Like you can't, you only have 200 words.
Yeah.
You only have like this one page to review the 3 movies and the 3 books.
Yeah.
Like, not everything is going to make the cut.
And
Whereas
we're
now
asking
it's
you
like-
to do it because of your taste and your
Yes, and
experience
your voice
and
and
your
your
vantage
perspective.
point.
Yeah.
But now it just feels like everyone can be an expert.
Free for all.
Which I suppose they can, but sometimes not so much. you
But
know.
why are we looking to them to be experts?
That's also the thing. 'Cause it's like,
People
I mean-
definitely position themselves as experts on the internet, eh?
and
But you don't
sometimes
have
it's
to
just saying-
subscribe.
You don't. Yes,
Absolutely.
No, and that's
Absolutely.
literally
It's just
why
the template
you
is
can
there.
clean up. Like I always try to clean up my visual diet of like, okay, what are things I need to unfollow? Who do I need to whatever?
Unfollowing is interesting, hey?
Unfollow or even mute.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think there's a weird dissonance with like relationship dating content.
You always say,
everybody's a dating
and your
coach.
algorithm will
And I'm
feed you,
always
hey?
like, what is happening?
Yeah.
These are places to find high value men. This is where
It's because you watch those things.
Yeah,
That's why
so
you
I'm
keep
like,
seeing
okay,
them.
I can't. How do I've unfollowed, and I can feel that I'm getting less of it, which is great. But it is just like the algorithm will keep you in the loop,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have content?
Do I have content? I've been playing Siba Kapstad a lot.
Yeah.
Aw.
So I'll say that's my
And you had
content.
said that they're coming out with something apparently.
Apparently they have a new album coming
yeah.
out. Apparently, we don't know.
Oh,
But
no,
yeah.
I miss Sibakapstad.
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah.
I got Gonge. Yes, their second album on vinyl. So it's been cool playing that.
Beautiful.
That's so nice.
My content.
Yeah, vinyl, hey?
Yeah.
Mine is Siyama Kuzeni, who I really enjoy as a she's a trombonist, she's a vocalist. And she
she's
was
funny.
she's just such a, like when you talk about like, it just feels like some artists have been able to not be diluted. And she's one of those. And she was at something called the Journey to Jazz Festival. And I was just like, what is this? I need to go to this place. She was performing outside at some like
Is that the one that was at Bertha?
theater. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in Cape Town,
like
somewhere in the
Zoe
Karoo. It was in the
Dikhan
Karoo.
Internet Anti-
Yes.
Yeah, it was in the-
Her
That's nice.
performance. Wow. And I've just always enjoyed her, like, because she's interesting to me as an instrumentalist, but also as a jazz vocalist, because her voice is not what you would consider the voice. But she does so much with her voice. She does so much with her voice. She's my content. I just really, really enjoy her. Yeah.
I also really like her. When I used to have a radio show, I invited her. And it was like, my show was like at 7 p.m. or something. Like, the hours where no one's really listening to radio. And she was just so great, like she was like, why do you want me to come? Oh, okay, fine, I'll come, But yeah, I also really, really enjoy her, and I enjoy Siba Kapstad a lot. So,
What was the radio show?
what was it called,
Yeah.
or what was it on?
Both.
It was called 4 Plays with Helen, because it was 4 times a week,
Okay.
and it was on Touch HD.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Tibo Touch.
Yes, Tibo Touch.
Yeah,
Yes.
I prayed for that thing, man. You know what, guys? You must pray.
Yo!
Yeah.
Don't forget to pray, because like all the things I've gotten to do,
Eat that shit. Pray.
everything I've gotten to do, I feel like
Has been.
God's been like, okay, cool. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
Oh, yes.
And I guess like the question you've been trying to ask me, I've been a writer all my life. I was reading before I was in school. My mom is a teacher. My gran actually I should say my mom was a teacher as well, because she doesn't teach anymore. My gran was a principal. My dad is like the smartest person I know. Like there was no way I wasn't going to be a writer.
Of readers.
Yeah. I knew for sure at like standard 2, grade 4 4, right?
Yeah, that's
I
what it
think
was,
it's grade
right?
4.
Yeah. I was reading a career book, as one does, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know those career books?
Yeah, I
It's like
remember
a-
those career books.
Do you remember those?
I do. I'm like,
So it was like a it looks like a dictionary. So it's like all the careers in A, all the careers. In
oh,
B.
that's cool.
Yeah. So I would read that like every day.
No, I feel like
just-
I'd remember that. I was a giant nerd in.
Yeah. So
I
that
mean, I
means you're
still am,
much younger than me. Damn.
Yeah, because I'm like, ooh, these standards.
Yes. And then I found copywriter in that career book. And then from that age, I was like, I'm going to be a copywriter. Like that's what I do. I come up with stories all the time. I can tell you things. I love ads. Like, so that's what I worked towards. When it was time to go to school, I didn't have money to go to AAA, so I didn't end up doing that.
Because that was when you would study
Yeah.
copywriting.
Yes, that was the place.
Advertising.
I feel like I tripped and fell into
Me
advertising.
too. Same.
Really?
Same right
No,
now.
100%.
Same
so
right now.
I always wanted to work in magazines.
Your job.
Really?
And I'm so thankful that I got to before magazines became shaky.
So you didn't know you could sing?
No, I always knew I could sing.
So why would you not want to be that? Why would you want to go
I could
right?
sing. What's happening? Okay, wait.
Yo, if I could sing, guys, oh my gosh. It would be so sad for everybody. I would.
Okay.
I would 100%
Okay.
be walking in like, you know, Jennifer Lewis. You know how she's always like,
Yes, absolutely. And Durand.
Yes.
yep,
Yes.
Bernard.
So yes, he's a bad bitch and that nigga.
I would 100% be
Okay,
like that.
so the singing thing, I don't know how we got here, but parents were also readers, huge readers. So I grew up reading, grew up writing, still don't hold a pen the way people are supposedly supposed to hold a pen. But I'm just like, who decided that this is the thing? Whatever. Anyway, so I also liked stories, you know? So I was like, oh, I can write well. Yes, I love to sing. I was a choir baby, school talent shows, school
Absolutely.
idols. I was there and whatever. But it never, I don't think singing as a profession ever occurred to me as a viable career.
Because it wasn't encouraged.
Because it wasn't encouraged.
Yeah.
So and
But that makes no sense to me.
no, because for me, I grew up in a house where it was like, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you're good at what you do, which I do enjoy. But I don't think I ever let myself imagine singing full time.
Yeah, because it's interesting
Yeah,
as well
not really.
with because I also played marimba. I was also in the choir, but it was like with singing, there is always a perception, and I wouldn't say I was encouraged into anything really, you know, but yeah, you know, like singing and being on stage and acting, like it's one of those things where you're like. Also, it was almost sometimes not encouraged. Like, how are you gonna make money? Especially acting, like stage work. But you're like, you know.
But are those conversations you had, or is it like a perception that you had?
It's a perception. It was never at that age a conversation that
Yeah.
I would have had. You know, like I remember. I mean, I played the marimba, I played piano, I played the drums. You know, like I was in and out of talent in school, but that never occurred to me that this could actually be, it was just fun. And I think there was also, that also is a space still where I just am like, it's just fun. It's just fun. It's just hobbies.
Yeah, it doesn't need to make
should
money for
exist.
you.
Yeah, I
agree.
Yeah, and
You know?
even in the age of like, all your hobbies must be monetized.
Yeah.
I find
Because there's
like a little
something
bit
when you
weird,
bring money into
because
the
even with
mix.
like I love reading, and I remember like telling someone about like a book that I've read or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, like you should do content about this," and I was like,
Not everything
like,
should be content.
No, like I don't want. Not everything must be on the internet. Like some things are just for enjoyment. So
see
maybe the
that.
singing thing was like, oh, maybe I don't want to ruin it. I find this to be a very fun thing. Like, I will sing like I sang at my best friend's wedding with a band. I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Take the show on the road. But I don't think.
Which you should.
Hey, you know what?
take the
Life
suitcase
is long.
and take it on the
Life
road.
is long. I
Yes,
can, yeah.
absolutely.
But I always wanted to work at a magazine, and I got to do that. And then, advertising is just kind of a thing that happened. But I studied like media and film and English literature and like,
Yeah.
But I never studied. Yeah, I think I only studied quote unquote advertising after, but it was like a short course at AAA. But yeah,
At least you got to go to my dream school.
I didn't even. It was like
Somebody got to go.
yeah, it was like a 3-month thing, and I was maybe like 3 to 6 months, I want to say.
Yeah.
But even then, I was like, I didn't know that you could. Like, I knew that advertising was a thing, obviously, but it felt so far removed
It's because you were young.
where I was.
You
and
didn't
I
grow
was
up on
young.
Generations, clearly.
I did grow up on New Horizons. I was like, I know what it is, but I don't think I want to work at
Yeah,
New
even
Horizons.
then it was not
I was not
appealing
sure.
on Generations
I'm not sure.
especially,
I'm not
you
sure.
know? Yeah.
Because Ketiwe went from being like an
See,
account
like the fact that
executive
you're
to the
bringing
face
up
of Lush Chocolate.
Ketiwe is like the golden age of advertising in Generations was over by then. Like by the time she was.
True. That was okay. Fair.
La Chocolate.
Yeah. Generations was good.
Yeah.
When it was.
When it was
when we
good.
didn't have
But
options.
when it was, do you think it was 'cause we
True,
didn't
this
have
is true.
options?
Yeah. I think Generations also came at a time when there was a palpable optimism in the country, right? And like for the time, it was a very novel, innovative thing to have for us, by us, seeing ourselves on
Yes.
screen, right? And obviously it evolved to whatever it is now. But in the same way that like you look at an adulting, right? Like we didn't have TV like that by us, looking at us
Okay.
until that, you know? And I think some people will argue that what's Tepela Mokoena's show?
Ayeye.
They will
Ayeye walked
argue that
so
like, yes,
adulting could run.
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm saying like there's a certain thing in the country that allows for TV to be what it is at the time that it is what it is.
Absolutely.
If that makes
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
sense.
That does.
Which is why now, guys, you know what my dream is?
What?
My TV dream.
Because you did say SABC 1. I was going to
You did say you wanted
Oh.
a show on SABC.
Oh, I don't mean like my dream, like what I want to do with my life. I mean like the shows I want to watch.
Oh, okay.
You made it
I
seem
should
like
clarify.
the show that you want to
Yes.
get on.
So
SABC
off camera, we
1.
were talking about my dreams. And I was saying, I always wanted an SABC One show. Like, and I feel like there's a talk show in me as well.
Absolutely.
Oh,
There
there is.
Like I feel like I need Felicia Mabuza Satel to phone me and be
to
like,
be like, come,
hey,
let's do
listen.
this.
Yeah.
The weirdest photo of her yesterday with Carrie.
Carrie Hilson.
Carrie Hilson.
And she was like, tell them, Carrie. And Carrie's like, yeah, I'm going to be coming to South Africa.
South Africa doesn't feel real sometimes. Because I was like, what's
I love
happening?
us so much. I love us. But yes, I always wanted like a TV job. But now I'm not talking about that. I'm saying my dream of shows I want to watch on TV.
Okay.
All right. Do you know, you guys know the Tando Nestim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you know that family.
Yeah.
You know they had a spin-off where it's just the kids.
Oh, did they?
Yes. So the oldest son,
remember that.
he is also like polygamous.
Of course.
But it was introduced in the show that like his girlfriend doesn't know that he wants to be polygamous.
Whoa,
And then that became a
Okay, that would be good TV.
Perfect.
It was.
It obviously is.
and
already.
then like it was all the other siblings and what they're doing and whatever. But I feel now it's hard to talk to you guys about it because you don't watch it. But there's a specific woman in there. She's the second girlfriend.
of the spin-off.
Yes. So
Oh,
in
wow.
the spin-off,
She's the second
son that
girlfriend.
wants
Okay,
a polygamous
okay.
situation. The second girlfriend.
He already has a second girlfriend.
He's got a third
Okay.
one now.
Oh,
but at the time, she was the second.
Okay.
She is like the most interesting person on TV because she's always being herself all the time. And she's like loud. She's all the things that are not supposed to be on TV. But I feel like if we had a dating show that is focused on her,
Wow.
I think that would be like what did you
dating
give?
her, or the ones
Yes.
where everyone is dating just the one person.
Yes.
Like The Bachelor?
Yeah,
Yes. So she gets
Oh, so
to
she's the
decide.
bachelorette.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I love that. I'm
but
into
like
it.
in
But
that
what is she
context
like?
of
We don't
Is she,
have
like,
a version
irreverent?
of that.
we did.
We did.
We I think the
What was it
Bachelorette was Griniso. I think she was the one who got to do it. But then they gave her some like whatever type of guy, and also it was like, oh, just like a mixed race woman on TV is the one who deserves love. But this girl Tirelo is like, she's plus size, she's loud, she's from the hood, she's not polished, she's, you know what I mean, she's all the things we are. But TV wants to show us, no, you should only be this.
And it's such like a nice territory to just like spin that like polygamy, and also just
The dating shows.
dating. Yeah, the dating shows are hectic.
quite
Hey,
a
there's
few of
such an
them now.
agenda,
Yeah.
you know.
So there's a new
but
one, The
like
Catch.
just
Is it South African?
South African.
Oh, really?
It's on Showmax.
what is it?
The Catch.
Oh,
What's the premise?
Heard of The Catch.
The premise. No. Do I even know what the premise is? Because I saw the thing. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 8 women and then like 10
One guy.
guys or 12 guys or something. And then 8 of the guys are there for love. And then the 6 are there to like
For vibes.
try and just fuck shit up, for lack of a better way to put it.
Oh, okay.
So they're trying to catch you out. So you have
Oh,
to see
like
which person is
antagonistic.
honest or who's not, who's really there for love or something.
So it's just
That
mirroring
seems
real
like
life.
the-
Because the women are always serious and then the men are always
Not.
like,
That's why I love this idea,
Yeah.
because
so it seems like that's
I love this idea because I really believe in dating wildly or
Wait,
widely.
Wildly
Wildly
meaning
is
what?
up to
like in the wild.
in the wild,
In the concrete
really
jungles
just-
of Johannesburg.
Yes,
Like going
yes,
out-
you know,
okay,
really
so
just
not-
like
not the
having
apps or not the whatever. Like you mean like
whether
in
it's the
wild.
apps, whether it's the apps, but dating widely really is what I
widely.
meant to say. But wildly,
Okay.
widely
'Cause I
could
was
be
like,
wildly.
What does wildly mean?
Widely could be
I'm
wild.
intrigued.
Widely could be wild. And I think it's just nice to afford. I think it's nice for women to be afforded the chance to be polygamist, if you not polygamist really, but to just date
Like just get
Yeah.
the rasta.
freely
I don't
and not
even
have that like, you know, that preset, hey, ngifuna ukujola, we
Like,
must
I'm so
now and now we're
desperate.
on our way. I saw a
Yeah.
tweet
Oh, man.
on Instagram
It's so
the
weird
other
how
day,
the apps
yeah,
do that.
where this girl was like, you know, if you're dating, if you're not dating for marriage these days, you're dating for heartbreak. And I was like,
that's
guys,
Sometimes
you
you're
know,
dating for
and-
marriage and you get heartbreak.
yeah,
So
because that is
dark.
that is when even inside marriage you get heartbroken the most.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So it's nice to just be able to have fun with dating. That's important.
yeah, and I feel
That's
like with
important.
that
That's
show,
what we're missing.
like you could have a wide spectrum, right? Of
Yeah.
like types of people that she could date.
Yes,
And then
as well.
I know like it's Portia's show and you guys should have Portia on your show because you talk about TV a lot. But I feel like this Tirelo show should be produced or directed by Dr. Bev Ditzi.
Bev Ditzi.
Yes.
And she did All You Need Is Love. So she's
Yes.
got love experience. She's got love psychological
And just, like,
experience.
Like having someone in a position of power that isn't heterosexual,
Absolutely.
looking for marriage
Female
or
gaze.
whatever.
Female
I mean,
Female gaze.
Dr. Bev is married, but like what I'm
Yeah.
saying
Yes,
is
yeah.
like,
But she's
just
queer.
It's
different.
It's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. Maybe
I love
people
that.
wouldn't watch because like, you know,
No,
just
I
want
mean,
drama all
enough
the time.
of us would watch
Yeah.
that.
Because it's always
Because
like,
that's always my litmus test. Like sometimes things can be that specific. Because even like an Insecure worked because it's like it's about Issa and Molly feel like, oh, we could be friends, or like my friends are like, there was like level of relatability specific to them. I think
Which
we
is
should
why I
pitch
don't
it.
understand why people were upset that Lawrence and Issa end up together.
That made sense to me.
No, it's
It
not what,
absolutely
what
makes
some of
sense
us
to me.
want.
You didn't want it?
Oh,
No!
Why didn't you want it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, who
Why
did
did
you
you
want
want
it to
it?
end up with?
And why
Hi,
did you
anybody
want it?
else. Oh my
See,
gosh.
I don't think she deserved Nansford. Who's the green eyes? Can I get mine?
Oh,
Nathan.
the ghoster,
the bipolar guy.
Yes.
Yeah, she didn't deserve him.
She
Why
didn't
didn't
treat
you
him
want
well.
them?
She didn't treat him well.
Because I feel like Lawrence only got himself together when she wasn't around.
Oh.
And I feel like he had so much fun without her. He was actually
did.
living his
yeah.
life.
He
Yeah.
was in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't completely sure that he still wanted to be with her.
And he had a baby. He ended
Yes.
up having a baby. That was my reason
Yeah,
for you don't
for
actually.
no. But I'm glad that she didn't sit through him having the baby, because that.
But now she's
But she's
a
auntie,
stepmother.
mom,
I mean,
She is auntie mom.
Yeah.
she is auntie mom.
Yeah.
But at least it's like I'm auntie mom later.
No, ma'am.
I don't know, I wasn't
And
mad
she
at it.
liked what's her name?
Condola.
Condola.
Condolences.
Like that
Yes.
was like someone she really got along with.
Yeah.
It should have just been that.
It was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And Condola ended up with Lawrence. That is just such a
That was so
that's-
uncomfortable.
that's such
So
a
I'm
toxic
saying,
situation
like,
to be in, yeah.
As much as I don't want them to be together, the reality of a lot of black women in straight relationships is you would end up with that guy.
They'll run back
And you would
to
just like
They'll
how
run
many
back
people are
in.
in those relationships, right? So anyway, I feel like I've just talked about
Pitch your
nothing your
show.
whole
Yeah.
Okay, you should pitch the show.
You should
show. No
actually
thanks. I don't think I want to do
TV behind the scenes.
no. I think how do I phrase this in a way that's edifying and encouraging to people? I don't think all of us should do everything.
There.
And I think in South Africa, we have such a rich something of talented filmmakers, talented people in advertising, because those two often, you know, the lines
Yeah.
are blurred a lot.
No.
And I feel like just because I have a platform doesn't mean I should be the one that's creating the show, because
This is
whoever
true.
is
I
in
get you.
Yeah.
those decision-making
Yeah.
spaces, if I say, I want to do this show, they are more likely to be like, oh, it's the girl who works with Spotify, so she must be someone. Fine, let's listen to her pitch, right? I would much rather, I don't know, be like of more value to someone else who's like super brilliant
the
and
idea.
super.
Okay.
Then I can be like, sure, I can open the door for you,
Okay.
but you bring your idea.
it doesn't have to be your baby.
Yeah.
I love what you're
I get
saying about like and how it ties into a creative process. Like because I definitely I mean, writing can be solitary, but I, as a writer, enjoy collaborations. I enjoy talking to people. I hate the word brainstorming because of advertising, but I enjoy the giving and sharing of ideas, you know, and I think that you know, like that's such an interesting way to be like, take this idea that I have and build on it, you know.
Yeah. And even if it's not that, it doesn't have to be my idea, because, you know.
Well, it is your idea. It is
Yes,
your
but
idea.
what I'm saying is that, like, I don't care about that idea. I want to watch it.
Yes,
but
that's
I'm not
the
like
thing. You wanna watch
invested in
ideas
it.
fall out of the sky. Yeah.
Produce in
Yeah.
the background of it.
But if I can be like, I know this commissioning editor and they're looking for shows and they'll listen because I am someone they know, then you come and we open the door for you because you have a brilliant show.
got
It doesn't always have to be me
Got you.
who's doing the stuff.
Absolutely.
So now, take me through your creative process, because you've spoken to writing and radio.
Oh.
You know, you're a podcaster.
Yeah, I feel like people are gonna watch this and be like, "Mara ke mang?" Like, you guys have spoken so much, but
Yes, you know.
yeah. So then I wanted to be a copywriter. Didn't get to be a
Yes.
copywriter. Studied a little bit of journalism. Didn't finish school.
Did you not finish journalism?
No.
Why?
I have an honors now.
Oh,
that I'm
okay.
an
Did you go
older lady.
back?
Yes, I did
Okay.
like night school basically,
Oh yeah, you went.
which I do not recommend.
have to finish this.
I only did it because the corporate world wants you to have paperwork.
Paper. This is the thing,
Yeah,
guys.
the creative world is like, yeah, but we can see your work. You've been writing forever, or
Yeah.
whatever the case
Yeah.
is. But so then I was. Remember, I was telling you guys pray, Like me personally, I think God loves me a lot because everything that I've like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then someone was like, okay, come and be an intern here. Okay, come and do this. Like come and, you know.
Happened.
So I was a writer for very, very many years, predominantly music journalism. And then I've also had a few podcasts. I feel like people think my latest podcast is my first foray into podcasting, but it's kind of like, no, I had a whole podcast called The Writers. I had like a whole Imbali is a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I did Mama Gashaga's podcast when we were in COVID.
Yeah.
Like true to this, not new to this,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you know, if it's your first time meeting me, welcome. Yes, and I've done radio. I have been on camera for a few shows, mostly web series. Speaking to musicians, you want to ask me something? Ask me. It's your show.
No. I'm listening. I'm
could feel
listening. But I wanted to find out, like, what of all of that did you enjoy, or was stood out for you? Was your favorite bit, or you know?
Yeah, I was trying to give you like a
Yes, absolutely.
a TLDR, a synopsis, so that I can answer the proper questions that you
Yes,
have for me and
absolutely.
give you
That's fine.
space
Okay.
to. But yes, so I did all of that. And in all of that, the thing that I love the most is experience. And what I mean by that is like experience comes through talking to people, right? Like you are experiencing their world, but also like being on set somewhere is an experience, or like going to, I was also given an assignment to go and write about Survivor in Fiji.
Nice.
Like the best time, okay? Like that is an experience, right? Like my favorite type of journalism is narrative journalism. Like I feel like I'm there with you. I love you so much. Danielle Smith, call me. So yes, that's my favorite thing about it. And then when it comes to process or like a creative process, I don't think I'm the right person to like ask about it because I don't feel like I'm a creative, you know what I mean? But the three things that I think have been integral in my career and I feel like anyone can do is talk, experience, and do. So like talk to people about anything and nothing. Like sometimes I know a lot of people like, oh, I hate RTO. I hate going back into the office. I hate, yeah, me too. But I feel like sometimes I'm in the office and someone just tells me about something, you know, like, oh, and then I was in the taxi and then this happened. Oh, okay. And then what that does for me, whether it's like from a professional landscape or from like an empathy landscape or like just kind of understanding human beings a little bit better, is it makes my creativity infinitely better.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's like
living.
Yeah. And like when you're a writer, especially like I write fiction as well, right? So when you're writing, some of the dialogue that comes to you is because you were in dischem and you were talking to someone. Or like you passed someone and they were shouting at someone on the phone or whatever, right? So if you're not talking to people, if you're not having experiences, what are you doing? What are you writing about? What are you putting onto the screen? Any of those things. And then lastly, just doing. Like, and that means me personally, I don't like writing, but I like to have written. So like, unfortunately for me, I have to sit down and write. I wish I could just be like, download the thoughts that are in my mind, and, you know, and then that becomes the writing. But you have to do, right? And we went to that event where Mpumi Ledwaba was the keynote.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes,
Masterclass.
the masterclass. Yes.
Yeah. And there's something that she said that I was like, oh my gosh, like it punched me in the gut. She was like, babes, how many times are we going to welcome you back? I was like,
oof, hey.
For context, she was talking about consistency. So just like keep going. Every day when I'm back, and I'm so guilty of that. But I was like, yeah, if you're doing, we don't have to welcome you back. Just do. So that's my creative process, I suppose. Does that answer your question?
That gave me more than I bargained for, if you ask me. My brain is like taking mental notes. What I do want to ask, at this point, you've spoken to so many people.
Yeah.
And I was watching your latest podcast, since it's not your only podcast. But
I love how it's.
Me too.
yes, so it's
that
very.
so much.
I love the title. I love how engaging you are and how you can almost how to pull vulnerability out of people. Like watching the one with Msaki and even the one with Nadia Nakai. Is there anyone? What have you found to be the most challenging person to interview in all your years of interviewing people? And then who has been a blast? Like, who's been your favorite to interview?
I think the most challenging types of people to speak to are people who are doing press. So like to them, you're just like you're number
part of the
4
list.
on the media day.
Yeah.
And I think there's always a way for you to be human with people. And for me, even like when people have come in with that attitude of like, I'm doing press, there's always something you can relate on. There's always something that you can,
absolutely.
And even if they leave there feeling like, oh, I've got to go do the next press thing. For that 1 hour, at least they felt like a human being, right? But the most challenging people are the people who are very much like, I have an answer for this because I've prepared for it, because I'm doing my media day, because da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But with this podcast, I've been super intentional about what am I interested in?
Yeah.
Whereas in other parts of my career, it's a combination of what I'm interested in and also what needs to be done.
Application, yeah.
Yeah. So for this, it's like for my podcast now, I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to. I am genuinely interested in you, whether you have a new body of work or not, right? Which is a bit different when you're doing other things. And then the second one is the type of people I like speaking to.
Yeah. Or even like your favorite interview as a
Type of
if you had one.
I feel like most interviews are my favorite interviews because the stuff that I'm asking you is stuff that I want to know. So to me, it feels like, oh, I'm so glad I got to do that.
You enjoy conversation. You obviously. What's your star sign? I need to. I need to know.
Apparently, I'm a Gemini.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Why
Why did you say yes like that?
Because Geminis need that. Geminis need conversation. They process emotion that way. They're thinkers, and they need.
Isn't
to
everyone?
Chat. Everyone thinkers.
Yes.
I mean, different types of thinkers. There's nuances, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I love astrology. My God, is that you get to realize that everyone is similar. Everyone has thoughts, feelings, and drama, but there's a nuance. You know, some people are thinkers but aren't expressors. They don't need that. They just need to think in remote distance.
Yeah.
But Geminis are, ruled by a planet that speaks, that communicates, that's a messenger, Mercury. So it is so, like integral for them emotionally as well to talk. And they're usually writers. So it is very, So
I don't know a lot about astrology, but I think the little that I've seen, like with Geminis being, like there's May Geminis and June Geminis, right?
Yeah, there is that
So
as well.
like,
Is that
like all the May ones are like me, Lauryn Hill, Andre 3000.
I know that's right.
Like Left
Sitting
Eye.
in
Really,
great
like-
company.
Like chilled kind of
great
people.
company.
And then the
June
June
Geminis?
ones are like Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh,
all
fire
of those.
starters. Because there is that with Geminis. There is
But I don't know if that's, and I guess that's just because I don't ascribe to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, or
I mean,
subscribe
absolutely.
to it. So like, I don't think
It
about
is
it
an
as
idea,
deeply
yeah.
as you might, right? But I do really admire people like Kendrick in the sense that I feel like that's a creative person. And that's a person who doesn't need to be on all the time. And you hardly see him. And when you see him, it's because he wants you to see him. And I feel like if more South African creative people were like that, like my goodness, the stuff we would get on TV. I think, what's his name? The lead in Adulting.
Tembinkosi.
Yes. I feel like he's like that. Like he's very, if you see him, it's because he wants you to see him.
And it's always specific roles, specific choices. Yeah.
And it's not like these like typecast kind of, I mean, he's naked everywhere, but.
And he's in a lot of it now, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more we have like artists who are really about like, I am being an artist.
Yeah.
And even someone like,
'Cause he's a strong actor.
yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
he? He is. Because he's
Even-
also in
Shaka.
Shaka.
Yes.
He's wonderful
Yeah.
on it. He's wonderful on it. Yeah.
I also really enjoy Didintle Kuno. What's the new film that was on ETV's streaming service? Bonko is also in that one. Like the premise, is, like everything happens in this apartment, and it's one day.
Oh, I think.
And like there's like a heist. Someone comes and plants money in the apartment, and then the movie is about the day, like what
Okay.
happens. So she's in that. It's a very like dramedy kind of role. But before that, she was in Isono, right, which was like a telenovela, and like those tend to be like, oh my gosh, not this, right?
Telenovela.
But I feel like she's got range that we're not seeing, and she's in a scam called Love.
Oh
now.
yes, I think that's where I saw clips
Yeah.
of her on. Yeah.
Or even shout out Karabo Lidija. You only see her when she wants you to see her. You're seeing her now everywhere because
Of the
she's
sabbatical.
promoting her film. But other than that, like she's making all the shows we like and she's behind them, and you don't see her unless she wants to be seen.
You
Like,
mean in the pub in front of in
In public.
public? Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking to something.
So that's what I'm saying about like the Kendrick kind of creativity, the Karabo type of creativity. Like
Okay, so I think I love that you said that because I believe there's no mystery left. So it does sometimes feel like the parasocial relationship we have, we know way too much about everyone.
yeah.
So people are constantly in our faces, which is why it is nice for Kendrick where we're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
You decided to be a hater for a year straight
Yeah.
and like some of your best work, but like we don't see you all the time.
yeah.
Which
nice
makes
not to see
your
other
jobs
people.
hard because you guys are on every week talking to people about the art that you like. So if everyone is like being mysterious, what are you going to talk about? You're going to have to sing and you're going to have to act.
I mean, I think there's enough things.
And that's like really, it really is a chat around because for me, I have huge issues with being on camera. I don't know what to do with myself on camera.
I don't believe you. You're on camera every week.
But
and
I
you
didn't
are fine
choose that.
every
I didn't
week.
choose
Yes,
it.
you
I
did.
didn't choose
This is a choice to be here.
I didn't, it was not my first choice. Okay. It wasn't my first choice.
But is it a choice?
I loved being, I love audio. I love podcasts. And that for me was where I was like, this is where I'm just going to live and die and retire. You
And
know?
hide.
Yeah, because I like hiding. I do like hiding as well. So being on camera is, and that's an interesting point. And I do agree with, I don't like to see the same face all the time. I think there is that fatigue of that, you know, and it's like where, you know, you get, there's so much to be said about that, you know, like there is a loss of, a bit of an essence when we're, you know, and with social media, there is just this campaign for consistency. But it's like,
Because how many times are going to welcome you back?
yeah, you know. Said Mpumi Ledaba, one of the best podcasters, you know. But it's like consistency is also just showing up for yourself, and it doesn't always have to look the same. I think we confuse consistency with sameness, you know, like when it really is just getting up, breathing. So I struggle. I definitely also struggle with being on camera, and that's a chat that you always have. I think as a content creator, is, are you gonna just like do this in perpetuity?
Yes. That is an answer for you. You guys are going to do this in perpetuity. This is going to be
feel like
you guys.
it's so interesting how this
And it's gonna
interview is
get
kind of
better.
coming around.
It feels like I'm
It's gonna
making
get-
You're so good.
She's
Let me
such
tell you
a good
something. You're
interviewer.
You're so
Hey,
good.
I know. I have a writer's ego, so I think I'm good at everything because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
You really are.
But I know, like, just wrapping up, I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job in a space that, like, people aren't really paying attention to. Like, no one is thinking deeply about TV and film. And I would so love to see more of you, like, talking to other people it's nice to see you talking to each other. But like, I really want to see when you're talking to Didi Ntle, when you're talking to Portia, when you're talking to Tembinkosi, all of those people in the thought-provoking, smart, brilliant ways that you guys do it. So your answer is yes, you're going to do this in perpetuity. You're going to be on camera all the time, and you're going to have to pay some tolls to get to where you're trying to go.
Oh my gosh.
And you will. You will. So thank you
so
guys
much
for inviting me.
Helen.
This has just
my
been,
goodness.
it's been my favorite interview.
I feel like you say that to everybody.
Is there any...
Yeah.
That was such a
Pearls
beautiful
of,
note to
yeah, it
leave
really was. Pearls
us
of,
with? Is there anything...
You know what you just said? That was such a nice note to leave us on. Then we should leave.
You know what? Touche.
yeah.
Everyone...
Bye.
But
Who made us go,
wait. Don't stop the podcast though, because I feel like we still need to see you too as well. I feel like you're an institution. Like you are an institution and you don't even realize it. And we do need to see more of you in this era. I do think you have your experience and your and maybe your heyday. I don't know.
Not a heyday.
What I mean is, for you are giving that was your heyday, and I feel like no, you have just arrived.
Wasn't
into
there
your
a thing
heyday.
called Hyperama?
Yes, there was.
Was it heyday?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh my gosh,
but no,
I'm so
genuinely.
old.
You have just arrived on your heyday. We need
You don't
music
need
journalists.
anything.
No,
We need
have-
you.
Okay,
We have
I'll
everything
say
we need.
I need more music journalists
No.
that look like me. That make me go, pun intended.
And
you're
that are
doing
good
that.
at interviewing.
No, and I know that I am doing it, but I love the way that you do that as well. And I never believe in the thing of like, there must just be one. There must be many and different opinions. And honestly, like, your voice is very important.
It is,
So
hey? And I was
however we
gonna-
receive it,
Yeah.
we will be open to receiving it in whatever artistic form that looks like. It doesn't necessarily have to be a podcast. It doesn't have to be an article. But we're just saying your voice is one that's very important in the landscape of media and arts and culture in this country.
Thank you.
And I did want
hope
to
you know
say that interviewing is your gift. It's not something that's easy to do if you love to have
Of
conversations.
course.
And it
I
is-
told you guys
it
God
is-
loves me. He gives me nice gifts.
Yes, so you definitely and yeah, like it is yeah, like interview. I was going to ask you how it is for you to how is your interview process like, because that's it's a new territory for me, you know, and it is a social skill, or it is a personal experience as well. So like, I mean, there are only a few people out here who are good at interviewing, and you're good at it, bro. You're good at it. You really are.
You guys are also good at interviewing. But to answer your question, I think the starting point is curiosity.
Oh yes.
If you are curious,
Yes.
then there's always something else to be like follow up on.
Yeah.
And I think in podcast culture, there is not as much follow up as is needed. You know, people feel like it's a Q&A. And if it was a written piece, I'd understand why it's just a Q&A, because you didn't have the space to follow up.
To chat.
But you guys do have the space, which is what you guys have done in this whole interview, to be like, I had questions, but then this hand took us here. So then we went there and
This is
asked
what
about
I
the other thing,
love.
because we're curious about it.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, your curiosity will lead you to talking to people and to experiencing things and to doing the thing you're supposed to do.
Thank you,
Helen.
Thank you, Helen.
Ladies and
Thank you, Helen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
so
for
much.
coming on. Thank you for being on our masterclass interview.
Come on.
Yeah.
Listen.
Masters only up in
learned
Masters
something. Hey,
only
masters
up
only.
in this year. Thank
of
you.
practice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope to hear more of because it really is such a lovely, intimate
Yeah.
product that you're creating there.
Thank you.
And you
Appreciate
ask
it.
some good ass questions.
Oh, so do you
No, genuinely,
guys.
like, you know, when somebody asks an artist something that you've always wanted to know, I was like, thank you. Somebody finally asked. Okay, yes. But anyway,
Alrighty. Cheers, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Until next time.
Black